This puzzle is called A Little Wrogn by JIS. Yeah, JIS. I got it from the Sudoku testing submissions channel of the CTC community Discord. Yeah, let's take a look at the rules. It's a 4x4 puzzle, obviously. All clues are wrong, meaning their normal rules do not apply. In cages, digits must not sum to the number given. Um, Cells separated by a white dot are not consecutive. Yeah, so let's just think about this. So if we knew that this was a 2 and a 3, this could not be a 4 because that would add up to 9. So it must be a 1 in that case. But really there's a whole bunch of options for this, and really only one option of it working. So that might not be super helpful. Cells separated by a white dot are not consecutive, so if this was a 2, this could not be a 1 or a 3, so it must be a 4. If this was a 1, it can't be a 2, it'd have to be a 3 or a 4, that sort of thing. Cells separated by a V must not sum to 5. So typically a V means that this would have to be 1 and 4 to sum to 5, but in this case, if this was a 1, it could not be 4, so it would have to be a 2 or a 3. Clues outside the grid must not equal the sum of the digits between the high and lowest digits in that row or column. So this is a sandwich clue, or a opposite sandwich clue, I guess, or not Wrogn sandwich clue. So normally how you do it is you would have a sandwich clue would be these two cells, because these two cells are the highest and lowest in the column. So these two cells sum up to some number, and that's the sandwich clue. And in this case, that sum cannot be 5. Whoops. And I think that's all the clues. You might have to reread the clues because obviously they're opposite of what you would normally expect. But yeah, this is probably pretty easy. 1 through 4 or 4x4 puzzles are normally pretty easy. I'll put a link to the puzzle down below if you want to give it a try. And yeah, let's get to it. So the first thing I see is that this cannot be a 1. If this is a 1, this has to be 2, 3, 4, which sums to 9, of course. So this is not a 1, so this is 2, 3, or 4, which doesn't really say much because anything works here. So maybe it's the sandwich clues to start with. If this was a 4, so a 0 sandwich clue would mean that the 1 and 4 are next to each other. Yeah, so if this is a 4, that would mean the 1 would have to go here. Okay, if this was a 3, that would mean one of these is 1 or 4, because otherwise both of these would go next to each other. So if it's a 3, it must be a 1. I guess it would have to be a 1 anyway. If this is a 2, this has to be a 4, which is fine. So really the only case that matters is if this is a 4, then we have to put the 1 a little bit away from it. And if we put the 1 here, this has to be a 2, I guess. Because we couldn't put, if we do this as a 3, then this cell would be unfillable because 3 has to go with 1. Huh, okay. Yeah. What about 5? So 5 means that both outside digits are not 1 and 4. One of them could be, but not both of them. Because the only way to make a 5 sandwich in a 4x4 is if this is 1, 4, and this is 2, 3. This middle section would add to 5. Um, huh. This is tricky. I'm not sure where to look. I mean, I feel like I've looked everywhere. So let's, except maybe I haven't really looked at this. This has to be, one of these is a 1 or a 4. one of them is going to be a 2 or an 8. Sorry, 2 or 8, 2 or 3. I was just working on a X puzzle. So that's why I suddenly said 2 or 8. This is a one of these has to be 1 or 4. One of them has to be 2 or 3. We don't know which is which. This goes down here somewhere. So what about here? Maybe we can reduce the cells one as well. If this is 2, this must be 4. This is 3, it must be 1. If this is 4, this must be 2. Because if we put a 4, 1, then this would break this clue. So, that doesn't necessarily help. So if we, hmm. Is it possible neither of these are 4s? Then this would have to be, no, this would have to be 3, this would have to be 1. And this would be 2, 4, this would be 2, 4. Oh, no, this isn't possible. Okay, that's where we look. So if this is a 3, then where does 3 go in this box? Yeah, that took me a long time to see. That's tricky. Um, so if this is a 3, where does 3 go in box 4? It must go down here. But it's on this line as well, which means 3 can only go with 1. But now over here, we need to do a 3-1 pair as well. So this breaks the puzzle because we'll have 2 1s in column, or sorry, in row 4. So this can't be a 3, this can't be a 1. But more importantly, if this is a 2, then this must be a 4, and then this 2 is going to come down here, which is required to go with the 4 also. Now we have 2 4s, so this can't be a 2, this can't be a 4, this must be 4 2. This 0 clue comes into play, so this is a 3 1. One of the, I don't need to color this. One of these is a 2, one of them is going to be a 1 or a 4. In fact, it must be a 1. Oops, it must be a 1 because where else could the 1 go if the 1 doesn't go down into row 2 in box 2? So this is a 3 4, this is a 4 2, 1 3, this is a 4, and it can't go with 2, but luckily 4 can go with 1 here. So this is 3 1. This is 2 3. Now, this 5 clue comes into play. We know this is one of the sandwich clues. This is one of the this is either the biggest digit or the lowest digit. But the 5 means that this can't also be a big digit or low digit, lowest digit. So this must be a 3, which is going to figure out the rest of the grid. And there we go. That was a bit tricky, trickier than I expected. But that was a nice little, yeah, nice little trick. I like that. That was, yeah, that was cool. Um, the Wrogn puzzles always, just because you're so used to knowing how the constraints work and thinking about them one way, like making them all opposite always kind of bends your mind a little bit. Yeah, that was a fun, quick puzzle. Thank you, JIS, for that, and thank you all for watching.